2, 1.
All right. So the United States of America is one of the wealthiest countries in the world. Overall, we have one of the highest production rates. We produced $18 trillion based off what Kimberly Amandio says in the year 2018. Imagine if we were to tithe just 10% of that. That would be $1.8 trillion. That is a huge amount that would require everyone's participation. For this speech, the sources are thebalance.com, the Harvard Gazette, CBN News, and a peer-reviewed journal by James Russell, and the Bible. Overall, I'll be talking about why it is a good thing for you to tithe and how it helps yourself. Tithing. So first we're going to talk about what tithing is. Tithing is the giving of time, money, and possessions. An example of this comes from the Bible in Genesis 14, verse 19 to 20. And he blessed him and said, "Blessed be Abram by God Most High, professor of heaven and earth, and blessed be God Most High, who has delivered your enemies into your hand." And Abram gave him a tenth of everything. That was a tenth of his time, a tenth of his possessions, and a tenth of his money, whatever that currency was at the time. Where the word came from. The Hebrew word maser and the Greek dekate, both translated as tithe in the Bible, which means a tenth. A tenth part, says Russell and James, whereas giving or donating is not related to the church. How it helps others. Tithing directly helps the church. It's money given to the church to benefit others and to benefit the congregation. Churches offer all sorts of services to their communities, such as clothing for those that cannot afford clothes, food for those that are hungry, and counseling for those that are struggling in life and need advice on what to do next. Other things that the church will do is mission trips where you go across the country or even into other countries to help them in poor areas and to benefit people. And another way is through community events such as picnics. We have one every year here, and it invites several hundred, maybe even thousands of people. This creates a foundation for communities. It brings people together and makes kind of like a family unit. How it helps others. Part 2, so this will be explaining without tithing. So overall, charities are a great way to donate if you do not want to donate to a church. So we have 4 organizations here. These are examples. There are so many charities. Can't even name all of them. The first one is Wounded Warrior. It supports veterans that have been wounded in battle and help. That includes mental damage. DARE is another one, which is an anti-drug campaign that goes to schools and teaches them about drugs. COSAIR, which helps children live their lives to the fullest, no matter what has happened to them. And Marine program Toys for Tots, which is literally toys for tots in needy locations. Next, we'll be talking about how tithing helps yourself. A study by Harvard Business School was done, and it showed that those that give away money feel happier than those that spend the money on themselves. An example of, or something that shows this is Malachi 3:10. Bring the whole tithe into the storehouse, that there may be food in my house. Test me in this, says the Lord Almighty, and see if I will not throw open the floodgates of heaven and pour out so much blessing that there will not be room enough to store it. This means that if you give to others, you will benefit yourself. If you give to others, God will bless you and make your life better so that you can make other people's lives better. An example of this is Derek Carr. This was an article by CBN that showed he's the quarterback of the Oakland Raiders, and he got a 5-year contract that is worth $125 million over the next 5 years. He is planning on tithing this, and at absolute minimum, which is typically 10%, that would be $12.5 million. He did not state how much it was, but at the least, that is how much he will be tithing. In conclusion, tithing is a very generous deed, and everyone should do it. It would make the world a much better place. On average, tithing is 10%, and this will benefit others and make yourself feel better and act better. Just imagine a world without tithing. It would be a very cruel and selfish world. Thank you.